March Madness round of 32 Saturday game predictions here for you. I'm Riggs Tamburo. Guys, look, we're jumping on in here. We got articles up for you on sportsforummedia.com. We'll get that on the screen here in just a minute. But what you guys can do there is find every single individual game article, or you can find the one article that has all the games tied into one. So pretty fun stuff there for you. But we're not going to waste any time here. Going to talk winners for every single game going down on Saturday, spread picks, total points, and overall score prediction. So should be a fun one here. Let's jump on in to the very first game on the board. Once again, as you see, this is on sportsforummedia.com. Game number one, man, we got McNeese taking on number 4 Purdue. McNeese come in at number 12, obviously coming off that big upset win for them. It's been a good one, but we do got to talk here about who's going to move on in this game. Can McNeese keep it going? Well, here's the thing, guys. McNeese right now, obviously an incredible defensive team, but they got their work cut out for them here offensively against Purdue. Purdue's going to have the size here. Purdue's going to have the rebounding advantage. Honestly, Purdue seemed to get a lot of calls. I don't know how much of that's coaching. I don't know how much of that's luck. I don't know how much of that is the committee, whatever you might want to call it, but I will say they do tend to find quite a bit of calls there for Purdue. So I think offensively, McNeese are going to get tested in this game, but their defense alone can get the job done here. We saw what they did to Clemson in the first half, held them to 13 points in the very first half there. They can do it here, but they're going to have to stay on the gas a little bit. We saw them pick their foot up just a little tiny bit in the second half against Clemson. They almost let them come back and take the game, but they did not. I really like McNeese here, and I will be taking McNeese to cover in this game at the +6.5. However, we will be taking Purdue to win this basketball game. McNeese, though, I do think they're worth a little sprinkle there on the money line for all you guys looking for some dogs. It's a really, really good dog spot, but overall, you got to think that the big bodies are the difference here in this game. Taking a look at those overall picks, we're going to go Purdue for the win, McNeese for the cover, the over-under. We're going to lean barely, as you can see here, under by half a point, 74-70 Purdue. That gives McNeese the cover. It stays under by half a point. We just believe this thing comes down to someone at the end needing to make a stop rather than make a bucket. If you would, it's going to slow down a little bit towards the end. Who can go ahead and hold on? And I think Purdue are going to find a way to get that done. But deep, deep down, I'm rooting for McNeese here. I don't know how you're not rooting for McNeese at this point. But good luck to you guys in that one. McNeese cover and Purdue walk away with a W. Then game number 2, we got number 10 Arkansas taking on number 2 St. John's. Everybody I'm talking to, and I don't know what's up with this whole thing, everybody's talking about how St. John's are this fraudulent team, and some people thought they weren't going to make it out the first round. Now I hear a ton of people saying that they're not going to make it out of the second round. I don't know what all the beef is with the St. John's team, but if you guys actually look at their true stats, their true record, I don't know about all this fraudulent stuff that I'm hearing, man. I mean, I'm not taking these guys to go deep or nothing like that, but to call them not a very good team or something, I just don't think that's fair. Obviously, John Calipari and the Arkansas Razorbacks coming off a big-time win there, 21-13 overall for them. Now, Kansas, not that great of a team in my opinion, but at the end of the day, you knock off Kansas in the first round, you got to get a little bit of credit in that department. The Red Storm, though, take a look at Rick Pitino's guys, man. 31-4 overall. This game's going down in Providence. Key info for this matchup, in our opinion, we're focusing heavily on the record against ranked teams. Why is that? Well, let's take a look here. I mean, first of all, because a lot of their statistics and a lot of their gameplay is very similar. So you got to try to find something here that makes these teams different. Well, what makes them different is their record against ranked teams. St. John's carry an elite 5-1 record against ranked teams, while Arkansas only 4-7 against ranked teams this year. The Red Storm, men, in my opinion, they are battle tested. They do have the ability to start fast and never look back here. But I mentioned here, if they do find themselves down 5 to 10 points against Arkansas at halftime, this team won't panic. In my opinion, once again, there has been a lot of doubt on the St. John's team, but overall, Arkansas I don't think defensively are going to be able to make enough stops here. I think they're going to get the opportunities to put this game away, and they're just not quite going to get there. And they're just going to keep coming back and keep coming back. We might see like a 54-54 game, 5 minutes left to go. And at that point, in my opinion, St. John's are going to win this game. Arkansas, I will say, like we said there, the largest concern with them is how they will manage against the top-rated defense in the country. That's the problem. Not only does St. John's have the offense, they also have the number 1 overall defense. Who moves on in this one? Like we mentioned here, very balanced on both sides, but at the end of the day, you want to talk about the team that's just a little bit better on both sides here. It's going to be St. John's, especially in the defensive category. We're going with our winner, St. John's, here in this one. Spread pick, though, we will go ahead and give Arkansas a little toe dip in the water here on the cover, over 142.5. We're going to go just over here, as it says 75-70. So coming in there about 2.5 points over the listed over under, and St. John's do win relatively comfortably, but will not cover 7.5 points in this game. Could St. John's lose here? They can, but will they? We do not believe so. Good luck to you guys in that one. Then moving on through here, Michigan taking on Texas A&M. This right here is a thriller. If you guys don't know what you're going to be doing tomorrow, you better have your butt ready to go. 5:15 p.m. Eastern time. This game going down Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. So not only is there all the pressure in the world for these kids, but now there's altitude to deal with. Will be interesting to see how these two teams handle that there. Now, with that said, looking at this game here, I'm not super high on the Michigan team, but at the same time, as soon as I saw Texas A&M come into this tournament as a number 4 seed, I must admit I was a little bit surprised by that. I don't feel that either of these two teams is that good of a basketball team, but let's take a look here of who's going to win, because one of these two teams is moving on to the Sweet 16. Michigan 26-9 overall, Texas A&M 23-10. Once again, 23-10 4 seed. I just don't know about it, man. I'm not impressed yet. Michigan averaged 78 points a game, 47.4% from field goal, 33.4% from three-pointers, but they've struggled defensively. They give up about 71.1 points per game. With that said, though, only give up 65 in their last game. Similar effort here is going to be much needed against the Aggies team, scoring 74.5 points a game. Also, 41.6% from field goal. It's not good by any means, but if they can clean it up a little bit, they should be relatively similar in that category. And then 31.1% from three. Look, man, to me, it's very clear. I think Michigan are the better offense in this game. More points per game, more accurate from field goals, more accurate from three. I like Michigan a little bit better, but this is where it gets interesting. Aggies, decent defensive team, especially as of late. They have given up 68 points a game. Did give up 71 points, though, in that last game, but without a doubt, going to need a better performance here. But can they do better? Yes, they absolutely can. My problem is, guys, take a real look at this. Who gave up more points in the last game? A&M. Who's a worse offense? A&M. I know on the season their defense is better, but I'm just not 100% convinced yet. Anyway, who's going to move on in this game here? Michigan thrive off their size in the paint, an advantage that will be tested here against one of the strongest teams in that category. The Aggies right now, 13th in boards per game. Also, top rated 13.5 on the glass. Wolverines, man, facing a strong interior defense here. There's going to be a lot of question marks in this game. Michigan, we've seen it before. When they go up against teams like A&M, that's where they tend to struggle. I do see the path to victory here for A&M to get this done. But as mentioned here, with all that said, Wolverines are going to win this game by doing what they do best, the little things. What do I mean by that? They're consistent from the line. They rebound better. They protect the ball better. They seem to be a little bit more poised under really scary situations. And this is one of those situations where there's a heck of a lot on the line, man. You lose and you go home. Like I mentioned here, Texas A&M, they're a higher seed and they are favored to win this game, but we will be fading the Aggies here in this game. Michigan to win, Michigan plus 3.5. under the 142.5 and the overall score. Michigan by a bucket, 71-69, 2.5 points there below that over under. And I did throw out there at the bottom of the article, betting wise, it's worth noting the over in this game, which is where we were initially leaning in this game, is raking in over 88% of the bets of all the games that we talked about so far. This is hands down the most amount of money on any side of any total number. It's just one of those things that makes you kind of be like, well, okay, that's enough for me to go the other way. 12% of people, yeah, Vegas can live with that. Now, like I mentioned here, the free throws for Michigan late in the game with the lead could push the over here, but the smart money says under. We're going to go ahead and lean towards the under. Good luck to you guys in that one. Upset alert. Michigan knocks off number 4, Texas A&M. Then one of my personal favorite games on the board tomorrow, Drake taking on Texas Tech, number 3 Tech. Is there an upset brewing in Kansas? Drake, if you've watched any basketball this year at all, you know this is a legitimate basketball team. Do not get it twisted. People always see the 11 or, oh, Drake, they're not a football school, right? Well, we're not playing football. We're playing basketball. And Drake are damn good at playing basketball, man. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're smart, you are looking at Drake here in this game, and here's why. Taking a look at the overall reason of why Drake is so dangerous, let's just start with their hot streak that they're on. They are red hot as can be. They upset number 6 Missouri. Now, I will say, we called that one. Shout out to all the writers at the Sports Forum. And Missouri are fraudulent. We kind of knew that. If you pay attention, you know that. But on top of Missouri, 8-game win streak. That's what they're riding right now. 31-3 for the Bulldogs overall. Texas Tech also feeling themselves right now. 5th time in 6 games that they walk away with a W. Dominated UNC Wilmington. Now, that's to be expected, but the Red Raiders 26-8 overall. This game going down in Wichita, Saturday, 6:10 p.m. Eastern time. Key information for this one, one of the most intriguing games on the board. It's going to be a high-scoring affair from the Texas Tech team, but also a stout defense in the Drake team. Which team is going to get their way? That kind of points to who's going to win this game. If this is an up-tempo, lot of threes going down, I think Drake is in a lot of trouble in this game here. They're not going to be able to come back against Texas Tech. But on the other side, if Drake can do kind of like what McNeese just did to Clemson, and they can really give them a cold first half, they can hold on defensively in the second half of the game, win this thing by 2 to 6 points. Can they do it? Yes, they can. But let's talk about JT Toppin, because he's the most important player in this game, in my opinion. Toppin, focal point for the Texas Tech offense. Dude does every single thing you could possibly ask for him. UNC did a phenomenal job when it came to marking this guy up. They double teamed him pretty much the entire first half and into the second half, put him in a lot of uncomfortable spots. He did have to dish the ball out. Lucky for him, though, Texas Tech, they got shooters. It was not a problem for them at all to get him the ball. Or to get the ball out of his hands into the bucket. So can they stop him? I don't think you can stop him. You can't stop him. Can you slow him down? Maybe. And you're going to have to, because if you don't, it's going to be a long night for you. Drake, they do have a suffocating defense. They can suffocate him. They will have to probably leave open a few other out routes for them. I don't think they can cover up everything, but they can force Texas Tech into a few shots that they just don't want to take, push them into a lot of bad passes, potentially lead to turnovers, etc. So I think JT Toppin is the focal point here. If he has a big game, I think Tech win. If they can slow him down, I think Drake is a very, very live dog in this game. Who wins, though? Look, guys, Drake, in my opinion, need a 6-point lead or greater at halftime. Like I mentioned, if they are to hold on in this game, deep down, we like Drake a lot. We will be sprinkling them for the upset in this game. But at the end of the day, things are pointing towards Texas Tech here to go ahead and just be a little bit too good down the stretch. So we're going to go Texas Tech with the win here. Although we love the Drake cover at 7.5 points over 126.5. In my opinion, if you like Tech, I think you're on the over. If you like Drake, I think you're on the under. We kind of found a nice little medium there. Tech to win and the over, but take Drake to cover because I think they could sneak in there. In my opinion, you're probably either going 3-play sweep here or probably 1 and 2 if you take those 3 picks right there. So Texas Tech, find a way, fend off a scare, 67-63, and they go ahead and move on to the Sweet 16. Then we got number 1 Auburn taking on number 9 Creighton. Auburn come in here, a lot of people's picks to win the entire tournament, 29-5 overall. Number 9 Creighton, though, 25-10 right now. This game going down at Rupp Arena there in Lexington, Saturday, 7:10 p.m. Eastern time. Auburn, here's a stat for you guys. Spectacular 17-1 record, 94.4% of the time. When they are a money line favorite of minus 465 or greater, they win the game. Well, guess what? They're a massive favorite here once again. Now, Creighton found themselves as dogs 11 times this season. They've won 5 of those games. Winning 45.5% of your games as a dog is a hell of a return on investment if you're someone that bets on them. So just go ahead and consider it, but 0-2 as a dog of plus 355 or more. So if they're a big dog, things get a little bit dangerous there. So, play that however you want. But overall, who's going to move on here? Look, guys, Auburn ranks 2nd overall in offensive efficiency. You can assume that the Blue Jays will adjust, but Auburn's simply going to outplay them. In my opinion, Johnny Broome leads the way for Auburn this year. The dude leads the team in points, rebounds, assists, and blocks. He's the difference here. Creighton secured a nice win over Louisville, but their dance ends here. We are taking Auburn to win this game. Creighton can't believe, though, that they're getting 10 points here, but I'll be honest with you, I really don't think this is an upset alert. So we're going to go Auburn to win, Creighton cover, push on the total. I guess if we're going to lean, we're literally right. This is the point total right here. So, you guys go ahead and do with it what you will, but 152 is where it's at. We're going Auburn win by 8 points there. Creighton bake the cover. This thing's going to come down however you want to cut the cake, guys. But overall, if you're 2nd overall in offensive adjustment efficiency and you're taking them to win, maybe lean towards the over here. But overall, we're just going to stay off the total here. Good luck to you guys in Creighton versus Wisconsin taking on BYU. Scotty coming in here, number 3 overall. BYU coming in number 6, 27-9 for the Badgers, 25-9 for the Cougars in this one. Another game going down at Ball Arena there, Saturday, 7:45 p.m. Eastern. Wisconsin steamrolled that Montana team 85-66. However, let's talk about BYU. BYU Cougars, cushy 20-point lead there heading into the second half against VCU. Started to get chased down, though, late in the game, but they hold on for an 80-71 victory. Both teams efficient on offense. Edge goes to the Badgers. Here's the other thing, man. Wisconsin, 17th in the country in turnover rate. The Cougars do have issues taking care of the ball. Also, the Cougars, not even in the top 200 in turnover rate. Every single stat here. You guys can read the numbers. Go check out the article, sportsforummedia.com. Every single thing in this game says the Wisconsin Badgers are going to win this game. And in my opinion, that's exactly what's going to happen here. So with all of that said, let's take a look here at our final projections. We are going with the Badgers to go ahead and get the win. It's a pick 'em here, so no spread on the board, just whoever you think's going to win. Well, we got Wisconsin under the 155.5 and Scotty to get it done 75-72. Once again, I know I made it sound very confident in the Badgers, and relatively, I am confident in the Badgers, but there's a few red flags when you go look at like the actual betting stats. So that's why the score is so close here. The line's coming down. It says it's going to be a close one. The smart money says to go against Wisconsin here, but I just can't fade a team that statistically is literally better in every single category that you can possibly imagine. So take the Badgers to get that one done. Good luck to you guys there. Then we got number 8 Gonzaga taking on number 1 Houston. Houston come into this game 31-4 overall. The Zags 26-8. This one going down in Wichita, 8:40 p.m. Eastern time there on Saturday night. Key information in this one, though, man. Clash of two styles here. Number two scoring offense in the country, number one scoring defense in the country. This is going to be fun. The Zags, throughout the year, they've had a few offensive issues when it comes to scoring points, but overall, they looked decent in their last game. They're coming off a really good game. They're 89 points for them. But one team that you don't want to have issues offensively against is Houston. Houston are an incredible defense. I think they're going to make things hell here for this Gonzaga team. Gonzaga going to have to capitalize on defense. Do they have enough in the tank? In my opinion, they do not. So we're going to go ahead and fade them for that one. Then, guys, you know what they say. Defense wins championships. Well, fun fact, folks, I know this is not a championship game, but it leads to the championship game as time goes on. I just do not think the Zags are good enough here. They're Gonzaga. It's always scary to go against them, but I actually feel relatively confident. And spoiler alert, I'm not someone that has Houston in my final two teams at the end of this thing. So I'm not that high on them, but I'm high enough to say that they make it through Gonzaga. We're taking Houston to win. Gonzaga plus the 6.5 points in this game over the 138.5, and Houston to win this thing 74-68. I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and read this here. Just got to plug the charger in here since it came out the wall. So got to make sure we don't die on the show here. But with that said, man, fireworks on the way in the nightcap. Number 2 Tennessee Volunteers come in against number 7 UCLA. I'll be honest with you, man. I didn't think UCLA was going to win the last game. Utah State came in and laid an egg. Now, I don't want to take nothing away from this UCLA team, but Utah State didn't show up. Straight up. They look like they forgot they had a basketball game to play yesterday. Now, with that said, Volunteers 19-2 record overall, 90.5% when playing as the favorite of minus 205 or greater. Well, they are greater than minus 205 here in this game. As for UCLA, 3 out of the 8 games that they've been a dog, they have won. However, the biggest question for us in this one when it comes to trends is how many points UCLA is going to score. Because get this, guys, the Vols 22-2 overall when holding opponents to fewer than 74.7 points. Now, the real question here is, will they hold them to less than that? I'll be honest with you. They might. They might not, because 74.7, it's an attainable number, but it's Tennessee, man. Tennessee, I want to talk about their star player, Chaz Lanier, because talked about this guy in the round of 64, went out there, had a good game, and he's going to do it here again. I don't think UCLA have a way to shut him down. Wofford couldn't shut him down. UCLA defensively, I don't think they can shut him down. You look at the offensive points per game, Vols, they do hold the slight edge, 118th overall. UCLA, 120th overall. I just talked about that exact number UCLA has to score to win. It's literally what they average, pretty much, 74.7. But defensively, there's a gap here. Tennessee, the 6th overall team in points allowed per game in the country, only 63 a game. But UCLA, decent in their own right, 19th overall, 65.2 points per game. But here's the problem, guys. Let me remind you of the question we talked about in the very beginning. How many points will UCLA score? 74.7. Yeah, well, let's look at their average here one more time. 74.7. But these guys only give up 63 a game. Even if you divide it out there and try to find the common ground. And we can even round a little bit here. But let's just say it's 74, or I guess at this point, 75 and 63 divided by 2, make it there. These guys aren't going to break the upper 60s in this game. And I think that's kind of accurate for where UCLA is going to be here offensively. Majority of the country didn't have faith in UCLA, but it's fair as to why, guys. The Bruins, arguably, at least in my opinion, one of the most hot and cold teams in the country. You can go ahead and think these dudes are the shit, and then all of a sudden, they lay an egg, and then just like Utah State, everybody fades them, and then all of a sudden, they have a great game. I don't trust them to put 2 games together. I don't force them, or I don't trust them down the stretch when things get hard behind their back. I don't trust them at halftime if they have a 10-point lead or they're down 10 points. I just don't trust UCLA. And I don't think up against a powerhouse like Tennessee that these guys are where you want to be betting your hard-earned money, man. I just personally don't see it. Now, I'm a little bit surprised by the betting lines in this game, to be completely honest with you. I was shocked when I took a look at them, just because I really don't understand why there's such a discrepancy of what in the world this game is so close for. 4 points? 4 points? I'm checking right now again for you. That's what I'm doing over here, so sorry if I'm tripping. 4 points. I don't understand why. What is it, because they stomped on a Utah State team that put up 47? Like, is that what this comes down to? Because I don't get it here, man. So, like I said here, Tennessee are a powerhouse. That will be a quick wake-up call for Utah State, from Utah State. Will UCLA answer the call? I don't think they will, man. I'm going to go ahead and turn a blind eye to what they did in round 1. I'm not impressed yet. If UCLA can pull it out again, I will shut up. I will eat my words, and we can talk about it in the Sweet 16, but I don't think that's going to be the conversation that we're having, man. I'm going to go ahead and fade those boys here. We're going Tennessee with the win, Tennessee with the 4-point cover. We are going to lean towards the under 133.5 here. This was a really, really close one. We got it at 135 is where we see this score going, 68-62, a cover for Tennessee, leaning towards the under. I don't think that what UCLA did offensively can be repeated, but since they held them to 47 points, I'm going to lean towards the under here. This one could go so many different ways when it comes to the final score, but the one thing that I like in this game truly is just Tennessee to win the game. Good luck to you guys in that one. Reminder, sportsforummedia.com for all of our sports articles and everything going on. Sports bettors, make sure to check out Blitz Sports Bets on Instagram and Twitter. Articles on our website. You guys can go ahead and subscribe for completely free. At the bottom of the articles, just type your email in and we will email you every sports article that we drop the morning of at 8 a.m. your local time. Very easy to sign up, so go ahead and check that out and follow at The Sports Forum there on YouTube and Sports Forum CO on Instagram and Twitter. One more time, this article for you guys on the website is round of 32 Saturday game predictions plus solo articles for every single one of these ones here. Until next time, guys, for the Sweet 16, I'm Riggs Tamburo over here at the Sports Forum. Good luck to you. As always, do not bet anything that you can't afford to lose. And good luck, y'all. Going to be a fun weekend.